it usually doesn't end with a fight or betrayal or someone walking out the door. It ends much quieter than that. Two people standing in the same kitchen, one scrolling, one rinsing a mug. No anger, no passion, just distance. They still love each other. They still function. They still share a bed. But intimacy, desire, that invisible pull that once felt automatic is gone. And the scariest part is this. Most couples in their 40s don't realize this is happening until it's already been happening for years. They don't say, "We're falling apart." They say, "We're just tired," or "This is normal at our age." But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear. What many couples experience in their 40s isn't the death of love, it's the quiet collapse of connection, driven by biology, by stress, by silence. And it's so common that researchers now have a name for it. Not a crisis, not a failure, a shared pause, a stage of life where both partners are changing physically, emotionally, hormonally at the same time, and the relationship doesn't know how to adapt. So when desire slowly starts to fade without explanation, people blame themselves, or worse, they blame each other. But what if nothing is wrong with either of you? What if this phase is predictable and fixable? Because once you understand why love goes quiet in your 40s, you can finally learn how to make it speak again. And the real reason this happens? It starts inside the body, not the relationship. Most couples try to fix this emotionally, but the real trigger is biological, and almost no one checks it. So, stay tuned till the end of this video to discover the magic of love in your 40s again. Let's start with the part no one wants to talk about, but everyone feels. Your body in your 40s is not the same body you had in your 20s or your 30s, and it's not broken, it's transitioning. Most people don't realize this transition often begins 5 to 10 years earlier than expected, which is why so many couples feel off long before they ever hear words like menopause or testosterone decline. For women, this phase often begins years before menopause. Hormones start fluctuating. Estrogen and progesterone don't decline neatly, they swing unpredictably. That leads to things people rarely connect to: intimacy, sleep disruption, brain fog, mood sensitivity, vaginal dryness, lower spontaneous desire. One of the most shocking truths, many women report still wanting intimacy emotionally, but feeling betrayed by a body that suddenly needs more time, more safety, or simply says, "Not now." Many women still want closeness, but their bodies stop responding the same way. For men, the shift is quieter, but just as real. Testosterone doesn't crash, it slowly tapers. Energy dips, recovery takes longer. Erections may be less reliable. Desire becomes less automatic and more situational. For many men, this is the first time desire requires intention, and that alone can trigger shame, avoidance, or silence. And here's the part most couples miss. When both partners are changing at the same time, desire doesn't disappear, it becomes mismatched. One partner might crave sex as reassurance. The other avoids it because it feels physically or emotionally harder. Add in medications, weight changes, poor sleep, and chronic stress, and in everyday life it looks like two exhausted people blaming attraction, when the real culprit is depletion, and desire quietly slips out of reach. But instead of asking what's happening in our bodies, most couples ask, what's wrong with us? And that question alone can kill intimacy faster than hormones ever could. Because when biology goes unnamed, shame fills the gap. And shame never creates desire. But biology is only half the story. The other half is what life does to the relationship itself. Even couples with perfect health lose desire, and the reason has nothing to do with sex. Your 40s are a crowded decade. Careers peak, children need more attention, not less. Parents begin aging, financial pressure rises. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, the couple quietly slips to the bottom of the list. You stop being partners, you become managers. Who's picking up the kid? Who paid the bill? Did you send that email? Conversations turn logistical. Touch becomes functional. And then something subtle happens. Desire becomes risky. Because when intimacy has been absent for a long while, sex stops feeling safe, it starts feeling loaded. One partner worries, if I initiate and get rejected, it will hurt. The other worries, if I say yes, expectations will follow. So both avoid it, not because they don't care, but because avoidance feels safer than disappointment. This is called desire discrepancy, when one partner wants closeness more than the other, and it's one of the most common and misunderstood relationship stressors in midlife. The higher desire partner feels unwanted, the lower desire partner feels pressured, neither feels seen. So sex becomes a symbol not of pleasure but of everything unspoken. Resentment grows quietly, distance becomes normal, silence replaces curiosity. And that's when couples start saying, we feel like roommates. But roommates don't usually feel lonely, couples do. And unless something interrupts this cycle, it doesn't correct itself, it calcifies. Some couples try harder, others give up. But research shows there's a third option most people never hear about. Here's the good news most people never hear. This phase is treatable, and not with clichés or forced romance. Research consistently shows that intimacy returns when couples stop treating this as a sex problem and start treating it as a shared life transition. That distinction changes everything, because once intimacy stops being a performance issue, people stop feeling defective. What doesn't work? Waiting for desire to come back. Forcing spontaneity, blaming one partner, ignoring physical factors. Most couples have already tried all of these in silence and quietly concluded that nothing works, when in reality they were just trying the wrong fixes. What does work is surprisingly practical. First, medical clarity. Many couples regain desire simply by addressing sleep, hormones, or medication side effects, not dramatically but meaningfully. One couple described it like this. After years of assuming attraction was gone, a sleep disorder diagnosis and a medication change brought back energy, and with it, curiosity they thought was lost forever. Second, guided communication. Studies show that couples who receive even short-term structured relationship or sex therapy report better intimacy, safety, and satisfaction. Not because they have more sex, but because they stop fearing the conversation around it. Intimacy doesn't improve because partners suddenly want more sex, it improves because they finally stop walking on emotional eggshells. Third, pressure removal. When intimacy is reframed as exploration, not performance, bodies respond differently. A simple touch becomes a connection again, not an obligation. For many couples, this is the turning point. The moment sex stops feeling like a test they might fail and starts feeling like something they're allowed to be curious about again. And here's something that surprises most people. Couples who rebuild intimacy successfully don't chase passion first. They rebuild safely. Safety to talk, safety to say no, safety to be imperfect. One partner often admits quietly, I didn't stop wanting you, I stopped feeling safe with you. Desire doesn't thrive in tension, it grows in permission. And once permission returns, desire often follows, slowly but honestly. Not as fireworks, but as warmth. Not as urgency, but as presence. Which brings us to the most important part, what you can actually do. You don't need to fix everything, you only need to start the right way. First, understand this. Rebuilding desire isn't about grand gestures. It's about small, consistent signals that say, we're still choosing each other. Desire doesn't return when life suddenly gets easier. It returns when the relationship starts feeling emotionally safe again. Here's what works, step by step. First, remove self-blame. Desire changing in your 40s is normal. Silence around it is not. The most damaging lie couples believe is that fading desire means fading love, when it usually means two exhausted people misreading a temporary phase as a permanent verdict. Second, get curious about the body. A basic health check, sleep, stress, medications, hormones, can remove invisible blocks that no amount of communication can solve. Many couples spent years arguing about attraction, only to discover the real issue was chronic sleep deprivation, antidepressants, or hormonal shifts. Third, bring back non-sexual touch. 3 minutes a night, no agenda, no escalation, just contact. This rebuilds safety faster than talking ever will. The couple said it was the first time touching didn't feel like a test. Just a hand on the back before sleep, and that alone softened years of tension. Fourth, schedule connection. not romance, connection. Short walks, coffee without phones, eye contact. Desire grows where attention goes. It might look unglamorous, but consistency beats chemistry every time. 5th, talk differently. Not why don't you want me, but I miss feeling close to you. I want to understand what this feels like for you. This shift alone can stop defensiveness in its tracks because it replaces accusation with invitation. 6th, get support early. Couples don't need therapy because they're failing, they need it because they waited too long. The strongest couples aren't the ones who never struggle, they're the ones who ask for help before resentment hardens into identity. And finally, commit to time. This isn't a weekend fix, it's a 6-week reset. Track small wins, celebrate progress, stay curious. Desire doesn't come back all at once, it whispers before it roars. And most couples miss it because they're waiting for fireworks instead of noticing warmth. Because intimacy isn't something you lose forever, it's something you renegotiate. And couples who understand that don't drift apart, they evolve together. If you're in your 40s and love feels quieter than it used to, you're not broken, you're changing, and so is your partner. This phase doesn't mean the story is ending, it means the story is asking to be rewritten. With honesty, with compassion, with tools, not guilt. If one thing stays with you, let it be this. Love doesn't disappear in midlife, it waits patiently for permission to return in a new form. And sometimes, all it takes is finally asking the right questions together. If this video resonated with you, take a second to like it, subscribe to the channel. We share honest conversations about relationships, connection, and navigating life in your 40s without the fluff. And tell us in the comments, which part spoke to you the most? What's one small step you're willing to take to reconnect with your partner or even with yourself?